In Africa, the cradle of mankind's birth, powerful kingdoms rose, a story of worth. From ancient times to the Middle Age, a continent's tale, a captivating stage. With deserts hot, the Sahara stands tall, and Nile's great river through nations it does sprawl. A youth-filled land, the youngest population, diamonds and cocoa from its fertile foundation. Exemplary leaders, their legacy told. Nkrumah, Mandela, their spirits bold. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, her first female leader, so wise. From Liberia's democracy, where freedom lies. Aliko Dangote, an entrepreneur's might. Wealthiest in Africa, a beacon of light. With refinery brand, his vision so vast. A symbol of progress, an icon to last. Namlolwe and Nyanza, a freshwater gem, reflected the dreams of many a gem. A continent of superlatives, it's true, with vibrance and vigor, a future anew. If history has shown such stars of grace, in Africa's embrace, new legends will trace. Let courage and dreams unite as one for a brighter tomorrow where greatness is spun. In this beautiful, colorful, and friendly domain, greatness awaits where hopes shall not wane, where tales of triumph weave a tapestry. Welcome to Today in African History. Featured here is W.E.B. Du Bois. He died on this day, sadly. The year was 1963, at the age of 95, in Accra, Ghana, far, far away from the country of his birth, which was the United States of America. Du Bois was a historian, civil rights activist, sociologist, author, editor, and Pan-Africanist. In 1909, he was also one of the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored Peoples, the NAACP. Du Bois is noted nationally as being a leader of an organization of African Americans who wanted equal rights for African Americans, which was called the Niagara Movement. He became the first African American member of the National Institute of Arts and Letters on the 22nd of June 1943. Du Bois primarily targeted racism in his polemic, which protested strongly against lynching, Jim Crow laws, and discrimination in education and employment. His cause included people of color everywhere, particularly Africans and Asians in colonies. He was a proponent of Pan-Africanism and helped organize several Pan-African congresses to fight for the independence of African colonies from European powers. Du Bois made several trips to Europe, Africa, and Asia. After World War I, he surveyed the experiences of American black soldiers in France and documented widespread prejudice and racism in the United States military. W.E.B. Du Bois sadly passed on this day, August 27th, 1963, at the age of 95 in Accra, Ghana. Historian, civil rights activist, sociologist, author, editor, and Pan-Africanist. What a guy. What a guy. Next, another great African leader, Haile Selassie the First, born 23rd July 1892. He sadly passed on this day, August 27th, 1975. He was Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. He rose to power as Regent Plenipotentiary of Ethiopia for Empress Zewditu from 1916. Haile Selassie attempted to modernize the country through a series of political and social reforms, including the introduction of the 1931 Constitution, its first written constitution, and the abolition of slavery. He led the failed efforts to defend Ethiopia during the Second Italo-Ethiopian War and spent most of the period of Italian occupation exiled in England. In 1940, he traveled to Sudan in order to assist in coordinating the anti-fascist struggle in Ethiopia and returned to his home country in 1941 after the East African campaign. So, pictured here once more is Haile Selassie I, Emperor Haile Selassie I, who sadly passed on this day in 1975, Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. He helped ward off the Italian incursion into Ethiopia. Ethiopia remains the only country in Africa that wasn't colonized. The only country in Africa that wasn't colonized. Last but not least is this man here, Lester Willis Young, a famous jazz saxophonist born in Woodville, Mississippi on this day in 1909. He belonged to a musically accomplished family. His father was a teacher who taught Young to play the trumpet, violin, drums, and saxophone, and his brother was a drummer. Coming to prominence while a member of Count Basie's orchestra, Young was one of the most influential players on his instrument. In contrast to many of his hard-driving peers, Young played with a relaxed, cool tone and used sophisticated harmonies, using what one critic called a free-floating style, wheeling and driving like a gull, banking with low, funky riffs that pleased dancers and listeners alike. Known for his hip, introverted style, he invented or popularized much of the hipster jargon, which came to be associated with the music. Lester Willis Young, famous jazz saxophonist, born on this day. 1909 was the year. The place was Woodville, Mississippi, the United States of America. Thanks for dropping by, folks. This is the end of Today in African History for August the 27th. Join us tomorrow, August 28th, when we shall share some more historical facts about Africans, African descended peoples, African Americans, African British people, Africans wherever they may be found on the planet. What they have done to promote the cause of Africa, what they have done to better themselves, the evil leaders that we've had as Africans, and what we can do to prevent history, negative history, from repeating itself, what we can learn from these dictators, those who have pulled us back, those who have made themselves rich at the expense of the millions and millions of Africans who struggle on less than $1 a day to live. It's just not, it's not a good thing at all that we have people who are making thousands and thousands of dollars every single day, and they're watching their brothers and sisters languish in poverty, earning less than $1 a day. It's not fair at all. So we can learn from this channel. We can learn, subscribe, share the channel, like the channel, turn on your notification bell so that you're notified whenever we drop a video. Let's all learn and let's all grow together. We need to move Africa forward. The only way we can move Africa forward is by learning from our past, correcting our past mistakes, and forging forward. Thanks once more, and we shall see tomorrow. Bye for now.